Hi there, if you're watching this video, it means you are interested in learning how Mercenary and Commando class plays with Arsenal and Gunnery spec. This is just a brief guide on how I play it. Please note that this is not my main class, this is a class I briefly played prior to 3.0 coming out. As you can see, I have it as my discipline. Arsenal, you can, obviously if you're looking at this video, you have your own Merc. I would suggest looking through this. These are the utilities I like to use. Improve vents, power barrier, bore sights, torque boosters, power shield. There's nothing really good in masterful. And heroic I use thrill of the hunt and power overrides. But unfortunately my gear is 186190, which is quite annoying, so I can't tell you exactly how to gear your character. But as far as I'm aware, best choice would be to look online at separate guides and videos, and they will give you more in depth in your stats. But stats I've heard are most classes, most people I know run their crit about 400-ish. I will speak to the mercs in my team, see what their stats are, and update the video when I can get around to it. This is the stats I use. Obviously, it shouldn't really matter what I'm using as my stats, as this is just a brief guide on how to do a simple rotation. Basically, I know some people, there is a heroic utility, reduces your cooldowns of Cure and Disabling Shot by 3 seconds each. That is really good, but I don't like the second effect, which you build up 10 stacks of supercharge over the course of recharge and reload. Best way to do this is get your Colto Shot or Colto Beam and just target somebody or yourself and wait till you get 10 stacks. Always make sure before pulling a boss that you have these 10 stacks, and make sure if there's a ready check, don't click yes that saying you're ready when you still have to build your stacks. And as you can see, I have a training dummy on my spaceship. Now, what you end up doing is, according to the Delphi website, you would normally cast your Tracer Missile, Supercharged Gas, Heat Seeker, Electronet Priming Shot. But I'll give this one a try because I've not done it this way. This is just a new try. So I go into cast, I pop it, I pop that, Electronet, Priming Shot, do my Blazing Bolts, another Tracer Missile, do that again, do my third Tracer Missile, that one, that's come off cooldown, and by that point you can do that again. Basically, Arsenal revolves around you using Blazing Bolts as much as you possibly can, because it hits for a ton of damage. As you can see with it procced, for me in my really bad gear, it's dealing 8,600 to 10,625 damage over the course of the channel, which is 3 seconds without alacrity, but you get some alacrity anyway from the canister. Obviously this class does have other pretty good utilities. Obviously it has Energy Shield, increases your damage reduction. Hydraulic Overrides is insanely overpowered at the moment. Increases your speed movement and you're immune to physics. And all that kind of stuff. You have Vent Heat, which obviously vents your heat. Or it's Recharge Ammo, which recharges your energy cells. And I don't know, I don't really play much Commando, sorry. What this does is, it reduces, say, I think it's above 50 heat, your heat distribution goes down to slow or moderate, and the higher it goes, the slower it gets, so it becomes really high heat management, especially in long fights. If you're low on health, you just pop Call to Overload. If you're lower than 40 health, it heals you to 40%. If you're about to take a big hit down to 30, and you're about 50, you can pop that, and as soon as you hit 30, it activates anyway. Energy, you need to keep supercharged gases up. Best way to do this is to kind of figured it out. It's what it does is when you're using the high velocity gas, increases your armor penetration by 10% while active. Damage dealt by your tracer missile, your heat seekers, your blazing bolts, and priming shots increases alacrity by 1%, and you can easily hit all 4 of those quite fast. You can just pop that one. So you pop it, you do that, pop that, then that. You can pop that twice in the space of, I think it's, how long is it? I think it's 10 seconds it lasts. I can't remember the exact time on that one. The augments you want to take are the aim ones, the 186 aims. The relics I use, I think I've got these wrong, is focus retribution, sorry, I'm pretty tired, and spontaneous assault. Power increase, and primary stat, which is aim, or it'll be master full, or whatever mastery when 4.0 hits. And say accuracy you need to have above 110% or close to it. I've got 109.78, that's as close as I can get it without having to take an augment, and that's without augments. I'm quite lucky, most of the gear has it. So I chose all accuracy build stuff because it's more beneficial. And also you do have quick heals. You've got an instant one that heals you for about 3 to 4k if you're lucky. Channeled one that hits you for, well, that one's a crit so it doesn't count. I'll just say 3k there. And then you've got your small one that you use to build stacks. Your AoEs, you have Blaster. It's really powerful, especially when taken with Vortex, because it increases damage by 25%. So that's 4k, that's about the same as a Sorc. The same as the Sorc or Sage's AoE they use over 3 seconds. And you have Death from Above that does basically double the damage, but has a 43-second cooldown with alacrity. And obviously it knocks down all enemies that are standard or weak. And your raid wide buff is supercharged cells. Well, clarity, but it's supercharged cells, that's what I'm calling it. Basically, this uses your 10 stacks and gives you 10% alacrity for 10 seconds. And you can do quite a lot in that 10 seconds, to be quite fair. And you've got these little things as well, like you can work into your rotation. If this is just a rough start, you can play into it, you can look up on Dolphy, but some of it's a bit weird and wrong. Some of the times I don't trust it. I prefer to play the class and learn it myself and figure out how to do it. What Thermal Sensor Override does is makes your next ability generate no heat, and the Power Surge makes it activate instantly, so you can basically, if you're priming shots off and you can't channel a tracer missile, you just pop that and you get 2 stacks of it. Since yeah, see, 2 stacks, that's what I chose with my utility there, and it reduces its cooldown by 15 seconds. And obviously you can pop 2 of those straight away. See? Well, I only got to pop one because I was in the middle of the air. But priming shot lets you do it instantly. And basically you kind of want to do that, and you can really do a lot of damage, and Electronet is your ticking dot. However, I think I am done with the Merc one. I would do a Ordnance, but I need to go practice that one before I can even attempt to do it, because I don't like range, I prefer melee because it's more fun. And healer I will give a shot at once I've actually done a lot more healing stuff. But thank you for watching, and goodbye.